Hello, hello everyone. Happy Monday. Um, you know, it is always Monday and it is nice and shiny and bright here, which is fantastic because it has not been that way lately. It has been rainy and crazy rain. It started this morning, of course, and then we are now nice and shiny, which is great. I love it. After a great rainstorm when the sun comes out and shines bright. All right, I'm going to share really quick my post. Come join the fun. And then we will get started. Maybe. You know, I always have technical issues. I don't know what my problem is. I'm not very technology savvy, I guess. And sometimes it will let me share beforehand, but then most times it won't. So there we go. All right, let's do prizes. We had, those of you who won a prize last week, I have not mailed those yet. Deb, I just got that add-on for you. So I will be mailing that out to you tonight after I get off. So it'll all come as one for you. So that will be going out tonight. But our winners from last week was Linda Hook. And Linda, I've got your address. Linda is our newest team member. So I've got her address. And then Michelle Bunt, you won as well, and you're on my team. So I've got your mailing address. So I will get all of those in the mail to y'all tonight for delivery. And I'm going to put those over there so I don't forget. And then that is really it right up front. Don't forget though, when you spend $50 from me, you get a tutorial bundle that has, I think this month it's got like 44 different projects in it. This is one of the projects. So this one, this is my card. And when you place an order that is $50 or more, you get that free PDF sent directly to your email. So don't forget about that. And I'm going to put you guys down on the table so that I can show you everything else. All right, I'm going to cover it up so I don't make any of you sick. All right. And I think I figured out how to secure my wobbly phone from last week, the last couple weeks, because it's been crooked. I think I have figured it out. We'll see. Cross our fingers for that one. Okay. Don't forget that Paper Pumpkin, it actually ends tonight. Tonight is the 10th. So make sure that if you want a Paper Pumpkin for this month, that you get that subscription ordered. And it is called Fun in the Sun, and I'm super excited about this one. Y'all know I will do a video with some alternatives. We will play around with that. But I'm just going to read this to you because this sounds really good. Slather on that sunscreen and dust off those surfboards because it's time for the Fun in the Sun Paper Pumpkin Kit. So I think it may come with some surfboard things. We're going to cross our fingers and hope real hard. I think this is also some images that you'll see in it too. But this is really cute. And I did have another flyer here that had it all in there. It's 9 cards. So you get 3 of 3 designs. And then, of course, you get the 9 coordinating envelopes. It's an all occasions stamp set to support and encourage those you love. It's got some pearlescent backed sequins in it. It's got some summertime, I don't know how to pronounce that pack. They're like the packs of like stickers and stuff. And then pre-cut dies, and then it also has a daffodil Stampin' spot. Daffodil Delight is a good Stampin' spot to have. So you can subscribe to Paper Pumpkin with the link in the description of this video. There is a link for that. All right, let me see real quick. I hope I made that deal. Sharon, I'm not sure, but I'll check for you. Don't worry. I think you did. I think you did, because I think you are getting a bonus days little coupon too. So let me actually fix my bonus days are when you spend $50, you get a $5 coupon, and you get to spend that $5 in the month of August, because we're in July. So you can get that in. And Sharon, I'm pretty sure that you got one of these. I haven't gotten the official email yet with the list of them, but you'll be getting, I think you are getting one. So but anyway, bonus days last for the whole month of July, so it will be July 31st will be the last day that you can get them, and there's no limit. So if you place $200 in products, then you get 4 $5 coupons. If you spend more, then you'll get more too. And for those of you who watch that are already demonstrators, for every $50 you spend, you also get the $5. So it's like double dipping, which is amazing as a demonstrator. Okay, let's see. I have a retreat that will be in August. It is August the 18th and 19th. And the retreat itself is $95 without food, or if you would like to have the food option, it's $115. There is a goodie bag that is valued over $50. There's make and takes, there are games, there are prizes, we play bingo. You get time to craft on your own projects. You get to use my Stampin' Up! Products that I have. I don't have everything, but you can use those. If you're interested in that, there is a link in the description of this video, and you can click that, and it'll take you to a page that will kind of look like, this. It'll have like a picture, but it'll have this picture here, and then it will give you all those details as well. There is a very limited spot, or very limited in spots for the retreat. I don't have that many. So, and there are already 5 spots gone, so there's not that many more left. So anyway, if you're interested in that, make sure you get in on that and you get registered before the end of July. Lastly, I want to tell, well, actually I have 2 more things, I'm sorry. Christmas in July. We are going to be playing with this suite tonight because I want to show you guys all of this, all of the products and what you can do even outside of the actual products that Stampin' Up! Put together as the suite collection. These are the cards that will be made with the Christmas in July class. These are the paper. The paper is well worth it. And with this class, you get a full pack of the paper. You get a full pack of the embellishments, which are these snowflakes, and they come in white, gold, and copper. And then you also get a whole bolt of linen thread, which y'all know is my favorite. So you get all of that for $45. And whatever is left out of the paper, the embellishments, and the ribbon, you get to take home. It's yours. It's yours to keep. So it's a great little deal. It is in person as well as to go. So if you want more information on that, let me know. Or you can just click the link in the video and it'll take you right there as well. So that is that. The last day to register for Christmas in July is this Saturday, because I have to make sure that I get the products in. They have not sold out as of yet, but it could between now and then. And if it sells out, if the products sell out, then I have to cut off registration because I want to make sure, obviously, that you get what you pay for. So all of those that have registered already, your products actually came in today, because I've literally, once you subscribe, I have ordered the products to make sure we get them. So that is that. And then the last thing I just want to show you is Club. Club is $39 a month, and $39 this month gets you a pack of the paper, it gets you ribbon, and it gets you our rhinestone embellishments, which I used them for a project over on my desk, so I forgot to bring it over. It uses the Swedish Cherries bundle, This is such a cute bundle. I really had fun creating these cards. And here are those cards so you can see. They're just fun. And some of them are summery, and then some of them are a little fall-y. Oh, here are the rhinestones right over here. I did put them back. So you'll get a whole pack of the rhinestones. But these are really cute cards. Club is $39. And with $39, you get all that plus the make and take packets to make the 6 cards. And it's mailed directly to your house. So if you are interested in that, again, in the description of the video, there's a link. Everything has a link. Everything has a button. I am a button person. Makes it so much easier for me. Okay, so that's it. That's all I have for you. It's not as crazy as it has been. I know the last couple weeks have been a lot of talking. But I do have some new products to show you. Other than the ones that we're going to play with tonight. I have some pretty ribbon, which I'm really excited about this. This ribbon looks gorgeous. And this is the first time I'm opening it. That side, you could even use that side. That looks really pretty too. But that is it. Let's tie a bow and see how that works. We'll have to do a little flipping, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Yeah, it's nice and cute. That's going to be some good ribbon. Then I have the infamous trucking along. So trucking along, the punch is available right now. The stamp set is not. The stamp set will be back in on the 17th. And I will let you know this. This trucking along will be my add-on class for the retreat. So if you are interested in that, details will be coming as far as that shortly. You can obviously add on the trucking along to your add-on class, but you don't have to because you will have mine to use at the retreat. I will also be doing this as a to-go class as soon as the retreat is over. So if you don't get to attend retreat, then you can purchase the trucking along set class after the retreat. So that is what we will be doing. And we will be doing also a kit as an add-on class for the retreat. I am not sure which kit yet, but I will keep you posted on that one as well. Okay, so that is all of that. And now we will get down to the real fun stuff. And that is our projects for today. So what I did was I created cards directly from Stampin' Up's online stuff. These are not my ideas. I have changed them to make them mine, but I wanted to show you that when you are getting a new set, sometimes the best thing to do is to recreate what is in the catalog or what is online with Stampin' Up. And then you from there can start creating, like your juices start flowing and you really start to kind of branch out from where you're at. So what I did was I took their projects and I created them and then kind of changed them up a little bit to make them mine. And that is how I came up with today's projects. And all 3 of them are that way. So, don't forget there is a blog post that goes along with it, so you can go check out all that information as well. Okay, so let's start with this one. And I will tell you, I am a Merry Christmas girl. I like for Christmas cards to say Merry Christmas. I'm okay like with winter cards saying other things, but I always want Merry Christmas. So that I decided to do Merry Christmas on this one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and stamp out or cut out our other tree. So I've already cut one, and this comes from the horse and sleigh dies. And there's that right there. That's that tree. One thing we're going to do though is I'm going to show you how to turn this piece of paper into a sticker. So these are our adhesive sheets, and I just cut them down. This is something I've started recently. I've cut them down to the size that I need, and it has helped me to better adhere this the adhesive strips to the back, or the adhesive sheets to the back. It also helps me not to get sticky everywhere, because I can take off one little section and then lay it down almost kind of like a band-aid. That's what it makes me remind me of. And then we will take and flatten it out on the other side. Okay, now we're going to take our paper and our die, and we are going to run it through our little cutting machine. Yes, it could be, Deb. And on the blog post, I even put that, because I was so, like, when I put it together, I was like, wow, this is very masculine, which is great. Because, you know, it's always so hard to get some good masculine cards. All right, so we're going to stick that on there. And that's one thing with this paper, because it's some of the patterns in it, there are like blues, and then you've got the greens, and you've got the crumb cake, pecan pie, let me say that right. And it makes really good masculine cards. All right, so we've got that. And then we'll put that in there. And now we have a piece. Let me pull out my take your pick tool. And now you've got your piece cut out, but on the back, it will be a sticker. You literally will just take off that backing, and now it's sticky there, which is really cool. All right. We are going to put that back so I don't lose it. And now we're going to start putting our pieces together. So we're going to fold our cardstock. And I actually scored my card bases today. I think I scored all of them. We'll see when we get there. I cut this piece of designer series paper, and this is the designer series paper that comes in the Christmas in July class. So this is the new one horse open sleigh paper. And here's one of the other pieces that's great for masculine cards. All right, so we're going to flip that over, and see, this side looks great too. All this paper is really good. Really, really good. We're going to take some liquid glue. And then we're going to adhere this to our card front. And like always, we're going to stack it like a stack of papers to make sure it's all even. We'll let it dry. Then we've got a piece of the same DSP, and we've got this pattern here, and look at that little deer on the other side. It's so cute. We're going to turn this into a banner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut straight up the center here, and I'm just going to do a little cut up, and then I'm going to come in from the sides. And I didn't quite go up far enough in the center there. Okay, so then that's going to make our first banner notch. And then we're going to come in from the other side and notch there. And now we've got our little banner. And then we're going to take and adhere this right onto our card front as well with this liquid glue. And the liquid glue, I'm using it because it will allow me to adjust how I need to before it will solidly stick to the front of that. Okay, now we're going to do the ribbon part, which is the trickiest in my opinion. And we're going to use the crumb cake. This is crumb cake from a trio, or not a trio, but a duo pack. It comes with some red as well. And again, All of the measurements for the cardstock and for the pretty paper or designer series paper, it's all on my blog. It has that and a link to all of the products that are used, so you can pull all of that from there as well. Because I forget names of stuff when I go live. You know, it's my brain just shuts off. It shuts off. Sometimes I don't even remember how I put the projects together. Have to walk myself through it. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right here. And I'm going to put that there. And then it's going to come up like this. And we're almost going to do it like a bow ribbon, one of those that, you know, like the little cancer ribbons. That's kind of what we're doing here. I don't know what else to call that. That's a horrible name for it, but that's what we all think of when we see it. Okay, so then we're going to put a little bit more adhesive over here so that this one will stay there, and that's probably a little too far over. There we go. And then we're going to cut right here like that. Okay. That seriously is the trickiest part of the whole card. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take our trees that we cut out and we are going to adhere them to this piece here. Now this is another piece of that DSP, so all the paper is the DSP that's on top of the card, and even the leaves, the trees, even this is some of the designer series paper. And then all we're going to do is kind of put it at an angle, and we're going to put this all the way up like that. And then we're going to take this one off, and we're going to put this one over here like that. Okay, and then we are going to put some snowbanks, and these are from the same dies, from the horse and sleigh dies. So there's two different snowbanks that you can cut out. And we are going to just put some liquid glue. We're going to use a lot of liquid glue. My arch nemesis, glue. All right. And then we're going to stick it right about here. And we're just going to lay it right there on top. And then we're going to take the little skinny one and we're going to adhere that on the top of it like that. Oh, we're going to move that up just a little bit because I don't want it to have that blank space right there. So we're just going to pull this side up. Hence why I'm using the liquid glue. All right, now you will see this at the bottom, but we're going to cover that up with our sentiment, so don't worry. All right, so we're going to grab some real red ink. And and then we're going to stamp right here. Perfect. Now this die, this label comes from the die set Wonderful Thoughts. And it's this piece right here. I will have to say that I'm in love with this label die as well as that one, and we're going to use that one too in a little while. And then of course the square comes from the Stylish Shapes, which y'all know I love and use all the time. Okay, so we're going to flip this over, and we are going to put, and that's the other side of that DSP, which is really pretty too. This is one of those packs that you need to get 2 packs of so that you can have the front and the back and utilize both. That is my personal opinion. I might have another pack set aside just for me, all because of the fact that this is a really, really pretty set of paper. Okay, and I am putting 6 dimensionals on the back of this little square. Okay, and the reason is because it's DSP, so it's a little thinner than our cardstock. If it was our cardstock, I would only put, well, I probably would put 5, maybe 6. All right, and then we're gonna stick this right here, and I'm gonna move it up a little bit higher because I want this to be shown that this is a banner, and here I put it too far down, so it didn't show very well. All right, so now we're gonna stick our sentiment on, and because we already have this part popped up, we only need to put dimensionals on the very, very bottom. So I'm going to put dimensional there, 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 and I'm going to put one more. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue at the top. Just a little quick line right there to make sure that the top stays. And then we'll take off the dimensional backings. And then we're gonna lay this right here. So it almost looks like another snowbank. And there we go. There's our card. And I didn't put anything on the inside, but you certainly could. There is a coordinating stamp that goes along. It looks similar, that you could stamp on the inside if you wanted as well. The Merry Christmas came from Ringed with Nature. These are some great sentiments that you can use for all kinds of different things. Get well and thinking of you. So I grabbed the Merry Christmas for that one. All right, so there is card number 1. Let's do card number 2. We're gonna do the embossing one. We're gonna do a little bit of a heat embossing. I've done that a lot lately. All right, and I'm gonna put my hair up really quick. That sun is beating in through the cracks of the blinds, and it gets real hot. So I'm gonna put my hair up real quick. I don't have much to put up anymore, but it still goes up. All right, let's pull all this out. And this is our card that we're gonna create. And I have more products that'll be, that I'll pull in just a minute, but this will give me a little space for you. So this is the card. And we're gonna do some stamping as well. And we're going to grab first our card base, and let's do, oh, I didn't score that one. I just scored all the other ones. All right, so let's fold that. Give that a good crease. All right, this paper is from the Bright, let me make sure I call it the right thing. Bright and Beautiful 6x6. This is what goes along with the balloon set. This has some really good paper in it too, and really good things that you can turn into different backgrounds, such as this, where it could be a sky. So I thought that was really cool. It took me, I will tell you this little story. So when I was trying to find how they created this card, it took me forever to find what paper that they used, because I feel like this is much darker than what they had in the picture. So if you wanted it to be a little lighter, you could take some white craft ink and you could blend it over the top, which could make it whiter. So it wouldn't be as Lost Lagoon dark. But I think this still works even with the darker color. So I ended up liking it, so I kept it. We're going to go back to this liquid glue thing again. And we're going to adhere it right here, and then stack it like a stack of papers. Make sure it's good and even on all sides. Press down. And then we're gonna do another step real quick. I probably should have done before I adhered it, but that's okay. We're gonna take some Versamark. We're gonna take an embossing buddy. And these embossing buddies, all it is powder on the inside. And what it does is on your cardstock, it helps to get your oils from your fingers off. So I just kind of lightly pat it. And this could even help kind of lighten your paper. And then I'm just gonna run it real good over there. We're gonna take that Versamark and take our tree image, ink it up. And then we are gonna stamp it right about here. I'm just pressing it down really good. We are then going to take some copper embossing powder. Pour it over our tree where we inked it up. And I know it's hard to see in the camera, but now you'll be able to see it. So that is what the powder does for it. I'm just gonna put it on there one more time. Knocking off that extra just by flicking it. Then we're gonna set this aside. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my little sentiment, since that is some more Versamark and embossing buddy. So we're just gonna put some powder on that. And the powder will come up. It doesn't stain anything, it just makes it a little lighter for a little while. Thanks, Kathy. All right, so we're gonna take that Versamark. We're gonna take the word joyful, which I think is a good Christmas as well. I think that's a good Christmas saying. And then we're gonna stamp it down. And then we're going to put this in white embossing powder. And I'm gonna pick that up very carefully. Pull in my white powder. And then I'm lightly just getting that excess off. And then we're gonna set that right there. Okay, now I'm gonna bring in my heat tool. This does get a little loud, so I'm sorry. But it won't take too long to make it happen. I'm just gonna plug it in real quick. Maybe if I can, there we go. All right, I'm gonna grab my tweezers. Maybe. Nope, I don't have my tweezers over here. That's okay. We are going to hold it like this then. So then you're just gonna run it across this powder and it's gonna shine up. So real quick, I just want you to kind of see how dull it is there. And then when we emboss it, it will become very shiny. And you can see it change. Let me see if I can zoom in. All right, there is that one. Now, I'm going to tell you this real quick. This is one of the things that really got me hooked on Stampin' Up! Was this embossing powder. We used it in a class, and I was a goner from there. So, all right, so there we go. We've got that one. I'm going to grab my scissors, and I'm gonna hold it with my scissors, and we're gonna heat this one up real quick. All right, there we go. And this, it will heat up really, really quick. I will say that you probably don't want to do what I just did where I did it directly down on my table. It will, anything that's plastic or whatever, it will obviously, you know, do something to it. It'll burn it. It'll not really burn it, but it'll, you know, make it a little bubbly. So just know that. Just be careful because it is really, really hot. All right. So we've got that done. We're going to set those things aside. Then we're going to pull in, I've already cut the two little banks, the little snow banks that I wanted, as well as this one. And this one uses a set of dies called reindeer dies. And it's that piece right there. And I'm going to move that. And this little joyful one is that smaller piece from the Wonderful Thoughts dies. All right, so I'm going to pull in some smoky slate. I'm going to grab my large tree image. I'm going to stamp it up, or ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp it right there. And then I'm going to take my little rabbit, and I'm going to stamp it right down here. Then we're going to cut both of those out. I'm going to trim this off just a little bit. So that there's not as much going through the machine. All right, so we've got our tree. And we're going to line it up, and then we're going to put some of this green tape on it. We'll put that right across there. Then we'll grab our rabbit. We'll grab another piece of tape. We will stick it here. And there we go. We'll pull back in our little machine here. And I'm gonna zoom back out so y'all can see what I'm doing. And then we'll run both of these through. You warped your cutting plate. You've charged your projects before, Kathy. Okay, I laugh only because I've done it too. I had a piece of paper literally, and that like started it didn't catch on fire, but it did burn. Yeah. And let's just say my whole craft room smelled like I had, lit some matches. So it was quite interesting, but it is what it is. And we all learn from that, don't we? Yes, we do. You learn what not to do. All right, so there's our two little pieces there. Now we can pull in our whole part here. Now we're gonna put this down, and you know what? I think I'm actually okay with that height. If you aren't okay with the height, you can always trim off the end so that you can make it shorter if you wanted. You know what? I might make it a little shorter. Let's do that. Let's actually make it just a little shorter. So we'll see here how much we want to cut off. And I think I brought my trimmer. Yep, I did, right here. So let's cut off about 1/2 inch. We'll just trim that much off, and then we'll be good. And then we are going to take some liquid glue. I told you I'm using the liquid glue a lot tonight. And we are going to adhere this right to our card front. Just like that. And then we are going to take and put this one right about here. And we're going to put it down flat so it's not going to be popped up. We're going to put a little bit of glue, liquid glue on the back, and I'm going to show you why we're putting the liquid glue. We will put this right here. Okay, then we're going to take and pop this up. And then one more right here. Take off those backings. And then we're gonna tuck this right up underneath, and see with that liquid glue, it allows us to get under there before it's fully dry. And then we are going to lay it right there. We're gonna take this snowbank and we're gonna pop it up. And then we're gonna stick it right here, like that. We will take our rabbit, and we only need to put a dimensional on his bottom. So we're gonna cut a little part off our side here, and then we'll put a little bit of liquid glue up here. And then we'll stick our rabbit right there. We'll hold that down for a second, make sure it stays. Okay, and then our joyful, we are going to stick right about here now, since I've placed everything a little differently, which is just fine. No card is ever the same twice. We'll put a little bit of liquid glue on this side. And then we're gonna stick it right here. Okay, and we have two things still to do. So next to last thing, we are going to take some silver from the Simply Elegant trim. Oh, I should do that. You know, I may have used to, a long time ago, had a wooden one, but I don't anymore. But that would be a good idea. I need to do that. I can, you know, they have them all over the place. That would be a really good idea. Yes, definitely, Deb, you live and you learn. That is for sure. All right, so we are making a small little bow with this ribbon, and I'm gonna put it back up so I don't lose it. And then we're gonna take a glue dot, and I'm gonna use a glue dot from my paper pumpkin kits because they're smaller, and we'll go behind this little bow here, a little easier, maybe. There it goes. We'll take off that backing, and then we're gonna stick it right here. And we can actually make that a little smaller. I think we need to. There we go. And let's trim these off just a little bit more. You don't want it to get caught when you're putting in and out of an envelope. Okay, and then last but not least, let's take our festive pearls, and we are going to, don't look at the name there, it is called Festive Pearls. And we're just gonna stick a couple of the silver throughout the front of our card. And one more, let's do another one right there. All right, there we go. There is card project number 2. I like the colors of this one, but I am gonna say this. I have started to become a huge Lost Lagoon fan, huge. So, I might be biased just because Lost Lagoon has become a favorite. All right, so that is card number 2. Let's move on to card number 3, which is going to take us just a few minutes longer because we're going to do some coloring. And I've cut out all the trees and stuff, so you don't have to watch me do all that, but you got to watch me do the rest. Because that's kind of the point, is to teach you how to do it. All right, I'm going to pull out all my blends. We're even going to do some blending. And we're going to use linen thread, my favorite. All right. Lots of pieces with this one. All right, let's start first with our blending. So I'm going to pull out just that for now, because I don't want to get ink on anything else. And this is going to be the background. So this is what we're blending, is this background. I'm going to grab my grid paper here. And we're going to use some boho blue. Tree has that. Oh, do they, Kathy? Oh, you should never tell me these things. Hey, Margie. Oh, you're sneak peeking at work. I might do that some too during work. You know, once I've answered all the emails and it's time to do something, I might go look on Pinterest for a few. All right, we're going to get as much ink off on to our grid paper before we put it on here. Don't worry about your edges if they get kind of gunked up and dark. We're actually going to trim those off. And the reason for that is I made the paper larger for that reason, because I did not like how dark those edges looked once I had really gotten all the color on it that I wanted. And I'm going to get things really dark apparently. And you don't have to do the whole thing if you don't want to. You can do as far up as you want. I'm going to go a little further down because I just want to make sure that when I put my snowbank on, that it really does cover up. That, you know, there's no white down there. I'm going to move this back and forth like this for a second. And then I'm going to go over it just a few more times just to make sure it's good and inked up in all the places. In the corners where my fingers have been. All right, so I'm good with that. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not going to stress over it too much. So this is boho blue. It's the new in color, one of the new in colors. And it's gorgeous, isn't it? I really like this blue. Okay, let's stamp first and then we will trim. And actually we're going to use that boho blue again to stamp. And these are just little snow dots from the stamp set. Oops. Ooh, ooh. It'll be okay. We'll cover it up with a tree or something. And this will take just a little while. You just want to make sure that you get a good snow coverage, because you know there's not like a big gap when the snow is falling. And I'm going to go down just a little further, just again, to just make sure that I'm getting, when I put my snowbank on, that I get it good. All right, I'm good with that. Oh, you just got your stamp pads on Saturday? Yes. So you will really like boho blue. It is a good one for sure. All right, so we now have that colored and stamped. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take that trimmer that we pulled out a few minutes ago, and we are going to, I don't necessarily care about this bottom, but I do care about this. And so we're going to trim this down to Now that I say that, I better make sure I'm trimming it to the right size. It is going to be actually a little bit longer. There we go. We're just literally taking off a hair. Not much at all. All right. And that just takes off those dark edges. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere this directly to our cardstock, which is gray granite. Grab that bone folder, give it a good crease. Okay, and then we're going to stick this right here. And we're going to use, we're going to actually use seal for this because I'm okay with it not being fully perfect, but I think we can make it work with the seal. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my cardstock up, and then I'm going to place this here, kind of see what makes it even. And then we'll just let it go right up like that. Okay. So now we've got that piece on. We're going to set that aside for a moment. We're going to pull out all of our other pieces here. And then we are going to stamp and start coloring. So I've already cut our snowbank, so we're good with that. This is going to be for our inside. This is going to be for our stamped image here. So let's grab this and our black. And then we're going to stamp it down right here. And I'm going to give it a good press. Ta-da! I'm running out of room. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to take my basic black and I'm going to really make this part here solid black. I think it looks fine, but I really wanted that black to stand out. So we're going to color that in. Okay. Then we're going to take some pecan pie, and this is the dark pecan pie. And we're going to color here, and here, and then here. Okay, and then we're going to take some dark smoky slate. And we're going to color his hair. Might have actually done light smoky slate for this part of his hair, but this will be fine. And then we're going to do dark here and dark here. And then we're just kind of coloring where the lines are that you kind of see the hair lines. And then we'll do his tail. Like that. Okay, and then we're going to do our little sleigh here. And I'm doing it as fast as I can because I don't want y'all to have to wait for me. I don't want y'all to have to wait around forever. We're going to do like the corners here. And then we're going to take the light smoky slate. And we're going to fill in and I just go over it until everything kind of smooths out like that. And then we are going to take some Lost Lagoon. We're going to take the we're going to take the dark first. And we're going to color the hat here, and there, and we're going to do here. And then let's see, we're going to do a straight line down like that. And right here. Okay, and then we'll take the light Lost Lagoon, color in there. Color there. Let's take our light pecan pie and we're gonna color in this right here. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't know what those are. But every picture I've seen, these have been a brown color, so that's what we're going with. And then we're gonna take crumb cake to do the other one. And just like I don't know what this little ball right here is, but everybody tends to put it as white. So that's what I did. We're gonna color that crumb cake as well. And then we're gonna take some Cajun Craze and we're gonna do the hat light Cajun Craze. And then we're gonna do some dark right here. And then dark there and there. And right here. And then we'll fill in with the light right there. Okay. Now, I want to do one more thing before we cut it out, and that is I'm going to take my color lifter. And I'm going to take my color lifter, and we are going to color our horse. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull some of this smoky slate, which is why it looks lighter in the stamped one, because we're going to pull it so that the rest of it, of our horse, has a little bit of a tint to it. It doesn't have a, it doesn't make it stark white like it is right now. So we're just kind of pulling that color in. You know, when something is stark white, sometimes it looks a little unrealistic. So I was trying to make it look a little bit more realistic than normal. And then put a little here and a little here. All right, I think that is good enough. All right, so then we're gonna stick this through our machine and cut it out. And then we'll start putting everything together. I might need to cut off. I'm gonna just trim this down so it'll fit in my small one. See, is that the muff for her hands? It might be, but you know, and see, that's kind of what I was thinking before, but then, you know, I feel like if it was, I don't know. You know, we can make it whatever we want to, right? So I just leave it white, but you probably are right, which was my thinking, but I'm not fully sure. And I did forget to color their faces. So we're gonna do light petal pink on this one. And then, no, that's, yeah, light petal pink. And then we're gonna do dark petal pink on this one. All right, so there we go. All right, then we're gonna stick our die right on. Make sure we get it lined up nicely. Then we're gonna stick a piece of tape on it, make sure that it stays, and then run it through. All right. We will take this off. And then we have our horse and sleigh. Now, I'm fine with that being black, but I wanted to step it up a little bit. So I cut out a piece of our hollow something. what is it called? Y'all, I'm so bad when I go live. I just cannot remember. Hold on, I got it right here. Holographic. It is a specialty paper, and one of the colors is almost silver-like. So I put the adhesive sheets that we used earlier on the back, cut it out, and then all we're gonna do is lay it on here, and we're just gonna line it up with the black lines that are there. As close as we can get them. And ta-da, there we go. All right, so let's bring back in our pieces here, and we're gonna take and go ahead and adhere this to our inside so I don't get glue in all the wrong places. Okay, all right. So now we're gonna take this piece and we're gonna put it here at the bottom. Oh, I did not cut that short enough. Okay, let me recut this because I didn't do it long enough. I didn't cut this piece short enough. That was my fault. I thought it was real tiny, but not apparently. So let me cut another piece of this real quick. That's easy enough. I'm gonna grab a long piece. Maybe. Oh, it's over here. Okay. And you know what? We might do something a little different too. Let's actually do this. All right, we're gonna stick this through. Sometimes you have to fix your mistakes. We're gonna cut off this top part here so we can run it through. Okay. So we're gonna take the die from the reindeer dies and we are going to lay it about here. We're gonna tape that down and then we're gonna run it through. Okay, then we're gonna take this off and maybe, okay, and then we're gonna move it and then we're gonna line this up and we're gonna run it through again. No, Nancy, you are not. It happens quite regularly for me. I have lots of scrap paper due to the fact that I cut things wrong. Lots of scrap paper. A whole like scrapbooking 12 by 12 container full of paper. That's like the story of my life. Okay, so now we've got that. We've got it recut. Now we're gonna stick this here and it will be long enough and you'll see it's gonna go over a little bit. I'm fine with that. I don't want it this tall though, so I am gonna trim off a little bit from the bottom. We'll pull down here and all right, I'm good with that now. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put dimensionals. Actually, before I put dimensionals on the back, we're gonna line up our horse to kind of figure out where we want our horse. And then we need to stamp our little snow pieces here. We want to stamp those. All right, so we're gonna tape our horse down right there for right now. This just is gonna give us our placement. And that's all we're looking for at the moment. All right, so I'm going to go here. And then we're gonna pick up our horse and go about here. There we go. And then let's go there. All right, so let's do here. And then we're gonna take our horse off and take our white paper out. I know that was confusing and I'm sorry. And we're gonna stamp another one right there. And then we'll stamp another one right here. Okay. Stamp it however you want. Oh, Nancy. You know, I will say that eventually I get tired of all the extra paper. So I do like give it away. I give a lot away. Okay. Now let's put dimensionals on the back. I as long as it's in the box, I'm fine, but I'm not big on having lots of buckets with it in it. So when it gets full, anybody who wants it, I always give it away when, you know, when it's overflowing. All right, so there we go. I know it has lots of dimensionals on it, but it's long. All right, so now we're gonna line this up and stick it down. There we go. And then we're gonna put our, and see, this is what I was trying to do. I was trying to get it so that the horse could be right here, but I think I got it a little too low. So we're gonna make sure that the horse's hoof goes right about there. So we're gonna stick a dimensional here on the horse and then here on our little riders. So up here at the top and up here at the top. And then we're gonna put glue everywhere else. So we're just gonna take some seal and run it along like that. And look at there, I got adhesive below that went a little further than I anticipated. So I'm just getting the glue out from those little cracks, those little holes. All right, there we go. All right, so then we're gonna lay here, and I have not taken the dimensional backings off. Don't do that quite yet. But you can put your horse everywhere else. I mean, you can put adhesive everywhere else to get it down. I'm gonna show you why. All right, so we're gonna go right here. And right here. Okay. All right. Now we want to take our trees, and again, I ran these through that have the adhesive. Yes, I think it did too. And I think Stampin' Up! Did a great job with their samples on these. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that makes it look really cool. We're just going to take those backings off, and then we're going to stick them behind like this. And then we're going to stick this one here. Maybe if it'll let go of my finger. It does not want to let go. There we go. All right, and then this one, I'm gonna cut off a little bit so I can stick it a little further down. And then we'll take off that backing again. There we go. Okay, and then this one is gonna stick right down a little bit lower. Actually, we're gonna cut it a little bit more. I don't want it to be as high as the other one. There we go. And then you can stick these little limbs in there too. Give it a little bit more. We'll stick that one right there. There we go. And then last but not least, we'll take those backings off of our horse for this part of it. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna take our scissors, and you can easily get that off. And it's not, as long as you don't like bend it in half, you'll be just fine. Okay, and then we'll fasten those down and ta-da. All right, let's do our sentiment and then our bow, and then we are officially done. We are gonna stamp this one, Sending Warmth Your Way, and we're gonna stamp it in the basic gray. And I'm stamping it on a banner from the Stylish Shapes, but we're actually gonna cut it down because it was a little big. So we're gonna stick it in our little trimmer. Line it up, trim it off, flip it, trim it. I'm going to trim a little bit more off this side. There we go. And then we will trim off the ends. And then we will put dimensionals on this, and it's going to hang over this edge right here. So what we're going to do is put our dimensionals closer to the top. Just want to make sure I put them in the right place. And that little part that will hang over will not make a big difference at all. Okay, so we got that. And then last but not least, let's do our linen thread. Okay, and trim off. And Kathy, what were we talking about on our team page today? We work ourselves into a little corner. Yep, that's what I've done. I have not a lot of room now. I am losing some space here. I'm going to trim that a little bit more. Oh, okay, maybe not that much. Let's try this again. There we go. All right, so we're gonna grab a glue dot. And this one is gonna be tucked underneath the corner, so I don't necessarily care how big or small that glue dot is. If I can get it to go up under. What is going on here? There we go. All right, so there is the last card. I'll move all this out of my way so I can bring in the other samples. All right, so we've got that one, and then we've got this one, and we've got this one. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the projects tonight. Don't forget, you can get these cards right here as a class mailed directly to you. It is a free class kit when you purchase a minimum of $35 before tax and shipping. You can get these make and takes here. And if I have to order more paper, I can order more paper for sure. It would not hurt my feelings at all. So if you want that, to make sure you check it out. Don't forget to check out the blog post and the Christmas in July class that goes along with this bundle here. And I will give you those cards as well so you can see those again. So these will be the cards that you will make in class on the 22nd. And the last day to register for that is this Saturday. So if you want to get in, make sure you do it. You can also take this Christmas class as a to-go class, and it will ship the following Monday to you. So it would ship on the 24th if you want to do that as a to-go class. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I did, and I will see y'all not next Monday. Sorry. I will have a video for y'all next week, but our church is having a 4-day revival, and that starts next Sunday. So it'll be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I'm going to just have a video for y'all up, and I'll probably do like a kit or something like that. I'm not sure. It won't be anything too complicated, probably not, since I will have very limited time next week to work on it. So, but just know that I will not be live next week, but I will see y'all the following week, and you will have a video for inspiration next week. All right, y'all. See you next time. Bye.